Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everyone, and especially ma'am. My name is Saifuddin M. Org from Subject Reporting in 2165 Art Appreciation Group Reporting. Lesson 5, Artists and Artisans. Lesson 5, Artists and Artisans Learning Outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to: number 1, outline the history of the emergence of artists and artisans. Number 2, recognize and critically discuss the function of state sponsorship sponsorship sponsorships rather in the field of arts and culture through the National Artist Award and the Gawad sa Manlilikha ng Bayan, Gamaba. Number 3, identify and define the different individuals in group who take on varied roles in the world of art and culture. And number 4, classify the practice of artists in terms of form, medium, and technique. In the advent of technology, it is remarkable what has now been made possible with a click of button. An array of overwhelming information is made available, informing every aspect of human explanation of this topic. The words artist and artisan are often very confusing for most people, although there is a key difference between the two words. An artist is an person who performs any of the creative arts. This can range from painting to music. An artisan, on the other hand, is a skilled worker who makes things by hand. The more definition of the words can be rather confusing because both involve the creation of something. The key difference is that while the product or output of an artisan has clear functional value, this may not be the case for an artist. The output can be an expression of the beauty of art itself without having a functional value. Through this article, let us examine the differences between an artist and an artisan. Question is, who is artist? An artist is a person who performs any of the creative arts. This captures all forms of art. For an example, a person who paints can be referred to as an artist. In the modern world, the term artist is also used for musicians as well. This is why people often tends to hear the words young artist through media to refers to emerging musician. Here, it is important to highlight that the term artist is not only attributed for those who create art as an occupation, but also for those who are skilled in a particular activity such as such as such as such as drawing, designing, composing, and etc. Who is an artisan? An artisan is a skilled worker. This include this includes various objects ranging from jewelry to furniture. An artisan should not be confused with an artist because there is a clear difference in the things that they create. An artisan is able to produce something that has a functional value, though it should not be limited to its use value. However, it must be stressed that there are cases where the object created by an artisan has only decorative value. What is the difference between artist and artisan? An artist is a person who performs who, perpo- who performs any of the creative arts. An artisan is a skilled worker who makes things by hand. Characteristics characteristics of arts and artisan. The object has a clear artist value. Artisan, the object has an artistic value, functional value. The object has no functional value. Artisan, the object has a functional value. Object, the object has a lot of aesthetic value and is appreciated for this quality as it please the individual. Artist, the object, though utilitarian, has certain aesthetic attribute to it. Question: what art form can you most relate to and appreciate? It may be architecture, sculpture, painting, music, literature, film, dance, performing, theater, and living tradition. Answer: literature. Can most relate to literature because I am a reader and writer. As a reader, every time I read a piece, it touched my heart. It also inspired and motivated them. In addition to that, appreciate it the most because of the flowery words and figure of speech used in every time or sentence containing those things that they admit the writers out the there there who can construct a sentence and create a and create a wonderful piece without any difficulty. But as a writer, of course, I can relate to it because I am writing my own story. I am expressing myself through it. Question: name an artist who works you really. Answer: like Vincent van Gogh, because Vincent van Gogh is one of the famous artists that started the modern art year in the year 8 in the year 1860s, along with the other artists like Paul Cézanne, Paul Paul Gauguin, George Seurat, and Hen- Henrique Henry Henrique. This story is incredible because they contribute doing even people back there don't believe to them because Back then people think abstract art is not good art because it is not following the rules of art, like proportion, lighting, color, and more. Is there a particular work of art created him or her that you relate to and appreciate? What is it and why? Answer. The story in a particular work of art created by Vincent van Gogh. The Staronet is widely recognized and appreciated. This painting is considered to be the 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 print of his achievement. Unlike most of his art, Starry Night was not created during his viewing of the landscape. The painted this from his memory. With your seatmate, discuss and compare the items you listen. Answer. Added and dismembered soldier is under a human skull overlays the horse body. A boar appears to guard the horse from underneath. The boar head is formed mainly by the horse entire from veranda which has the knee on the growing. Based on what you wrote, makes an assumption about what the painting mean. The painting mean. What the painting means. The painting means. What the painting means. Answer. Guernica is a powerful artwork painting in history. It tells a powerful story about the Spanish Civil War. This is its depiction at the suffering caused by war. Because of its ability to tower over you and engulf your one field of vision. Let's get down to business. In Peter Drucker's a seminal book, Post-Capital Society 1993, he stated the real controlling resource and the absolutely decisive factor of production. Explanation. The real controlling resource and the absolutely decisive factor of production is neither capital, not land, not labor. It is knowledge. Instead of capitalist society are the knowledge workers and the service workers, the artisan and the goods. Have you ever wondered why some example of artists and creative production have survived to this day? Museums are packed with numerous artifacts and interesting objects from all over the world that have survived centuries for us all to see. Magnificent structures, other magnificent structures that are often appreciated not only for their historical significance but more so for their aesthetic characteristics that render them unique, unique, unique. Become tourist destination for those who wish to explore and see the remarkable facade, interior, and even the minutes of details up close. Explanation. The artist and the recruits. An artist is a skilled worker who makes things by hand. Weavers, carpenters, shoemakers, and so on. Goods, a group of tradespeople made up of merchants, craftspeople, or artisans, particularly in the Middle Age, who oversee the practice of them craft trade in particular area. Reporting Lesson 5 Artists and Artisans.
Good day everyone, especially to you ma'am. This is my part in our report. Our topic for today is all about the guild niche under the four crown saints. It shed light on different ways of thinking about the transfer of knowledge and skills by the demonstrating and expressing principle, process, and tricks of the trade both in words and pen through manuals and publication. Let's proceed to our next topic. Figure 40. Albrecht Dürer, Self-Portrait 1500 Oil Online Panel. In the visual arts, an example of an artist strongly influenced by this was Albrecht Dürer, born in 1471. His father was a goldsmith. That is why he also apprenticed as such later on. He shifted together visual arts. During that time, it was customary to travel after completing an apprenticeship to gather more experience and knowledge elsewhere. His life was ripe with travels, fame, and fortune. One of the biggest credits to his practice was his dedication and interest in our scholarship. His attendance to close friends meetings of artists and scholars. Ang sabi dito sa visual arts, isang halimbawa ng isang artist na malakas ang impluensya nito ay si Albrecht Dürer. Si Albrecht Dürer ipinanganak noong 1471. Ang kanyang ama ay isang panday ginto, kaya naman nag-apprentice din siya. Sa panahong iyon, nakawagalian ng paglalakbay pagkatapos makumpleto ang isang apprenticeship upang makakuha ng higit pang karanasan at kaalaman sa ibang lugar. Ang kanyang buhay ay hinog sa mga paglalakbay, katanyagan at kapalaran. Ang isang sa mga pinakamalaking kredito sa kanyang pagsasanay ay ang kanyang dedikasyon at interes sa scholarship, sa kanyang pagdalo sa mga pulong ng mga artista at scholar ng isang malapit na kaibigan. Let's proceed to our next topic. Figure 42. Details of the ceiling of the Most Holy Trinity. This showcase the signatures of some of the artists who worked for the restoration of the ceiling paintings between 1922 to 1927. One of the example Spanish architecture that has been documented is the Church of the Most Holy Trinity in Loay, Bohol. Built in 1822, the ceiling paintings were rendered Trump stephetic biblical scenes. In 2003, it became a National Historical Landmark. It was thus very fortunate that this church was of those heavily damaged during the devastating earthquake that rattled Bohol in 2013. The only section of the structure that remained erect was the bell tower, although that a fragment of the real thing. The photos taken by Project Kesame were able to document the beauty of the ceiling paintings prior to its destruction. From the church, the next patrons of the arts were the then new elite, the ilustrados or the middle class, along with foreign guests who wanted souvenirs to take along with them. In the three previous chapter, it was mentioned that portrait paintings became a fad, but looking closer at the paintings will reveal the specificity of the style in which they were painted. Ang sabi dito, mga detalye ng kisame ng kabanal-banalang Trinidad. Ipinakita dito ang mga pirma ng ilang mga artista na nagtatrabaho para sa pagpanumbalik ng mga kwardo na gawa sa kisame, pagitan ng 1922 to 1927. Isang halimbawa ng arkitektura ng Espanyol na dokumento ay ang Church of Most Holy Trinity sa Loay, Bohol. Ito na yun noong 1822. Ang mga painting ng kisame ay ginawang trompe style na naglalarawan ng mga eksena sa Biblia. Noong 2003, naging National Historical Landmark ito, kaya't nakakalungkot na ang simbahan na ito ay isa sa mga pinsala noong gustong nung lundol na yumanig sa Bohol noong 2013. Ang tanging bahagi ng strukturang nanatiling na itayo ay ang kampana. Bagamat, isa lamang itong fragment of the real thing, ang mga larawang kuha ng Project Kisame ay nakapagdokumento ng kagandahan ng mga painting sa Kisame bago ang pagwasak nito. Mula sa simbahan, ang mga sumusunod na tumatangkilik ng sining ay ang mga bagong elite noon ng mga ilustrado o ang gitnang huri, kasama ng mga daywang panahuin na gustong magdala ng mga souvenir. Sa unang kabanata, nabanggit na ang mga portrait painting ay naging isang uso. Ngunit ang pagtingin ng mas malapit ng mga ardo na gawa ay magbubunyad ng paging tiyak na estilo kung saan sila ipininta. He also published quite a number of books and treatises, including those that talk about practical skills as an artist which would be useful to other artisans and craftsmen who dared to read it. Mostly on perspective and human proportion. His works were written in the first person, singular, format practical in the way it was written and was supported by illustrations. It also helped that his illustrations were laid out opposite the text that explained it. Although it was cut between the time when canons were still being followed, he suggests to his readers that this was mere education, and that if they found a better way to go about it, the one should depart from what the head had learned. Ang sabi dito, tungkol sa mga practical na kasanayan bilang isang artist, na magiging pakipakinabang sa mga iba pang artisan at craftsmen na nanghahas na basahin ito. Karamihan sa pananaw at proportion ng tao, ang kanyang mga gawa ay sinulat sa unang taong isahan ng format. Praktikal sa mga paraan ng pagkasulat at sinusuportahan ng mga ilustrasyon. Nakakatulong din ang kanyang mga ilustrasyon ay nilatag sa tapat ng tekstong nagpapaliwanag dito. Bagamat nahuli siya sa pagitan ng mga oras na sinusunod, pa rin ang mga kanon. Inumungkahi niya sa mga kanyang mga mambabasa na ang kanyang mga rekomendasyon lamang at kung nakahanap sila ng isang mahusay na paraan upang gawin ito. Kung gayon ay isa ay dapat ay umalis mula sa kanyang natutunan. Apart from founding, another obstacle is the fact that some of the knowledge that goes into production is difficult to put into words. Ang sabi doon, bukod sa pagpubondo daw, ay isa sa katotohanan na ilan lang ang kaalaman na napupunta sa mga produkto o mailagay sa mga salita. Ang sabi dito, maaari itong patunayan sa paraang madalas nahihirapan tayo kapag inatasang ipaliwanag ang isang particular na hakbang o proseso sa isang bagay na nilikha natin. This can be proven in the way that often we struggle when tasked with explaining a particular step or process in something we create. Consider this in addition to the fact that receiving an explanation of how something is does not automatically make us task-bomb-free and presarious. Ang sabi dito, isaalang-alang ito bilang karagdagan sa katotohanan na ang pagpanggap ng paliwanag tungkol sa kung paano ginagawa ang isang bagay ay hindi otomatiko ito. Ang sabi dito, the guild needs under the foreground sense is, ito ay nagbibigay liwanag sa iba't ibang paraan ng pag-iisip tungkol sa paglilipat ng kaalaman o kasanayan. Ginagamitan ito ng trick sa pamamagitan ng manual at publikasyon. Of course, these their printed publication were produced cheaply and lack this compendium of Bible-sized handbooks and manuals. Apart from founding, another obstacle is the fact that some of the knowledge that goes into production is difficult to put into words.
Howard S. Becker's Art Words 1982. He asserted that artistic works involve the cooperation of many people, creating patterns of collective activity known as art words. This sociological approach to the art does not focus on aesthetic judgment but acknowledge the role of artists in the art experience.